So guys, in this video I'm going to cover the creating the database and the table. So I'll come on my Apache MySQL, click on admin. After clicking on admin, it will take me here. So I'll create a new database. So in that database, I'll name it as register. Okay, then press create. So after pressing create, I'll ask me the table. So I'll first create my first table, which will be users, and then I'll have in the fields that I have, I'll get the name, that's one field. I'll get the email, that's the second field. I'll get the password, that's the third field. And also by default we shall need the user ID. So I'll create the first four fields. So the first one will be user ID, and the second one is going to be the full name. The third one will be the password, will be the email. I'll use email. The last one will be the password. So the name will be a string, so I'll use the vec character, same as the email, and also the password. So the length of this one can go up to 11, this one go up to 255, and then after this I'll create. So after creating this, I can make this one the primary key, the user ID. I can name it and I just it will be the primary key. I'll click this to make it as the primary key. Okay, so I've created our database, and the database is named as register in users. So I'll go back to my codes. Remember where I wrote my connection. So change this database name and I'll name it as register. Okay, so make sure that the host is localhost, user is root, then password, we don't have password for now, but database name is register as configured in our my PHP admin here. So after that, I'll come to my register.php, okay, and so create the simple HTML structure. Okay, so I'll name this page register. Save this. So inside our body tag, we shall open a new form, and this form we shall give it a method that we shall use during our PHP logic. So this method there, we shall give it a method of post. Okay, then save. So, and inside the form, I'll start inputting in the labels. I'll first create a heading, and I'll say this heading is this is registration register. Okay, then come down, start putting in the first label. I'll first create a space here. I'll put the break. I can even put a double break. So I'll create the first label, and this label I'll make it to take the full names. Okay, so after then create its input field, I'll type input, So the type is text, and I give it a name as full name. Remember, this name is the one that's taken by PHP after the form submission. So I'll also double break this and create other. I'll copy and paste this very code. So I'll change this. This has been full names. So this one I'll change it to email. And here the type which has been text, I can change it to email. And also change its name from email, from full name to email. I'll copy and paste also down here. And change this to password. So I'll also change the input type from email to password, and also the name to password. Now we save this. So we shall also need the submit button. So we shall bring in the button, and then the type. So the button name will be register, and then here the type of the button we need is the submit button. So we save this. So we shall open our browser and we run our file directory. So remember, ours it is local host in the test folder. So we shall run. Okay, so it will bring you this the index. So you click on the register page we want to check. So this is our form we have just created. Okay, so right now you can put in entries like this. Okay, and you put in the password, but if you register, we don't know where the information goes. So we shall attach this and redirect the information where it is going. So we shall dive into our register.php page. Remember, the first thing we need to know that it must be connected to the connection page, which is connection.php. So we shall need to know which method first we specified to use. We used in our HTML structure, we use post. Okay, so we shall say that if, remember, any if, we put the arguments. So we shall tell the server that we are going to use this kind of method. So the method we are going to use is the one we have to specify. So we shall say if the server is set, and then the method we are going to use. So we shall identify the method we are going to use. The request method must be set, or must be equal to post okay. So we shall close this. From there, okay, and then we open the curly braces for the parameters. Okay, this statement will simply tell the server what exactly we need. We are connecting to it, but using which method. So after identifying the method, we shall start getting our variables. Remember, when you come back to our field, when you come back here, the fields we need the full name, email, and the password. So these are the variables we're going to have: full name, email, and the password. Okay, so we shall come start declaring our variables. I showed you in PHP we declare variables using the $sign. So the first one is going to be full name. So full name, so we specify the method that we're going to use, which is post. So open the brackets and specify the ID name. Now in this case we shall go back to our HTML. The ID name for this very variable, now this is full name, so it's the one we shall take. You can copy the exactly one here and then paste it here. It must be the exact one. So we shall repeat the same process for even for other variables. So another variable, remember we have the email. So after this we shall terminate this, and then also we do the same thing. This one is a post. Also open the block brackets and then we get the ID name for this one is email. So we shall see the exact name we've used here, which is email. So terminate this, go to the another variable. Another variable is password. The same, shall get the method, get the brackets, open the quotes, and we get the exactly name we used, which was password. I told you can copy and paste it because when you put the wrong name ID, also the logic will not work. Okay, so we also terminate this. So I'll finish to declare our variables and the method we are going to use. So now we shall create a new variable, and this we shall name it SQL. This variable is going to help us to insert our things in database. So we shall say SQL equals, so this one will specify the exact SQL code to insert into our database. So we shall write insert into, we get the table name that we created. Remember when we open XAMPP, we created this database. So with the table, the database registers with the table users. So the table users, if you click on its structure, it is having the user ID, full name, and email. So we shall create a database that inserts into this. We shall create the SQL that inserts into this table exactly. So we shall go back to our code and we say insert into, the table name is users. Okay, so we shall specify the fields we are inserting. Okay, insert into users, we start getting the exact field names as it is in the database. So we shall have full name, comma, we have the email, comma, then we have the password. We have the password also. Okay, the password. So we shall close this and then specify the values, okay, for each field. So for the full name, we shall insert the variable called full name. So we shall put the variable name here, which is full name, then comma, and then the variable name, and then put it under single quotes. Then go to another one, open the quotes, and then we put the variable name, which is email. put a comma, close the single quote and put a comma. So we shall open another variable name which is password, full name, email and password, and also close the single quote. So we shall close the bracket and then save this, then terminate. Okay, so this is the SQL we are going to use to insert into our tables. So after this is when the SQL is done. So we shall need to execute this SQL statement after connecting. So we shall create a new function saying that if our MySQL if MySQL is query is an inbuilt function, so we shall first call the connection we made initially in our connection.php, which is this, the con variable. Con, comma, then the next argument will be run the SQL, which is our SQL variable we've just made here. Okay, so we shall put the parameters and we tell we tell the person echo, and we tell the PHP to echo that registration is successful. Okay, else or we shall create the else part. We shall echo registration failed. We save this, we go back, we try to run. We shall come refresh this part. So we shall try putting in our names and credentials. We see whether everything is done. So it is showing registration failed, but when you check our database, let's check it, we see whether it's saving. It is saving.